Oh, Kimmy! The Iceman retireth! Hello and welcome back to another episode of the YouTube racing team, My Team Career Mode. This is race 13, we're at the Hungaroring in Hungary. Twisty track, all about downforce, not really the kind of track that's gonna work well for the YouTube racing team car. It's tight, it's twisty, there's not many overtaking opportunities, there's no long straights really, where we can use our advantage in top speed. It can't go much worse than Silverstone though. That's the good thing. I realised looking back at Silverstone that it was a combination of my bad driving, me not being able to drive in the rain at all, and the wear on the engine, because we had all these old parts were on the engine, so we were actually losing a lot of pace down the straights and a lot of pace in a straight line. As you can see, we've fixed that. We've put on pretty much all new parts for this race in the Hungaroring. As I say, straight line speed isn't as important here, however that should still come in handy, should give us a bit more performance out of the corners, so hopefully things will go well. Something that hasn't gone well for us is the research and development department, because once again everything failed. So both the durability and the aero upgrades failed. We should still have a chassis upgrade, and the redo of the aerodynamics upgrade should be ready for the next race in Belgium. I think the turbo durability is going to come in after Belgium now, the redo on that, but at least the aerodynamics and the durability now cannot fail a second time around, but the chassis will probably fail before next time anyway, because that's pretty much our luck at the moment with the R&D department. In terms of progress, we obviously haven't made any since the Silverstone Grand Prix because everything failed. Alfa Romeo have, so they've jumped ahead of us. Racing Point are ahead of Ferrari now and are basically level with Red Bull, so look for them to be very good at this track. Things haven't gone brilliantly for us in practice. We're not fast, as I said, around here. It's not a track that's set up well for us, so we're just going to be seeing what we can do really. You can see the rivalry with Lando Norris is very close. I'm 1 point ahead with 2 races remaining. I think this track's more set up for McLaren than it is for myself, but we'll see what we can do. I think that Norris will probably beat me here. It's pretty much all about qualifying, I think. Just judging by practice, I think a good strategy would be to start on the soft tyres, switch to the hards early and go hards to the end, because it is difficult to overtake around here. But we'll see what the team comes up with as a strategy at the beginning of the race. But first, let's get into qualifying and see what we can do. I just want to try and make it into Q2. I think Q2 is a bit of a win for me here. Right, here we go, our first flying lap of Q1. This is pretty much the only time on the lap when we'll get to use our out-and-out top speed. We're not well set up for this track really, being a speed-focused car. Next track's a different story though. I really like the Belgian track, Spa. It's really good. I've driven it a lot on other racing games as well, so I know that track quite well. Don't know this track particularly well. I have driven it a few times. It's not a terrible track, I don't hate it, but it's certainly not one of my favourites. And as I say, it's not a track that suits our car at all really. Especially that section through there, the car doesn't do well through there. I don't do well through there either. Can't blame the car completely. A lot of it's down to the driver. Sliding through there. This final corner just seems to go on forever. Just want to get the power down, but you have to wait. And at the moment we go 5th, so we're faster than Ocon and Giovinazzi, so that's actually better than I was expecting. Obviously we'll get shuffled down as more drivers set lap times, but that's not actually too bad to begin with. That's not too bad at all. We're in 9th at the moment. Quite a few other cars left to go actually. We're definitely going to have to go out again. I'm only safe by a couple of attempts at the moment, so the likes of George Russell, Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen, the old boy who's retiring, they could all improve. Grosjean could improve. I mean, Magnussen's already quicker, so Grosjean definitely has the ability to go faster. Right, come on, we need to nail this lap. Already the first corner wasn't very good. That wasn't very good at all. Braked too much going through there. Took that corner too slowly. Very scruffy second sector there. Somehow still made up time over my first lap though. Shows how bad my first lap must have been. We're 6 tenths up on the first lap. We cross the line. Are we through? Yes, we're in 14th. Even improving by 6 tenths of a second, we only just got through. We're 3 tenths of a second faster than Grosjean. Guan Yu Zhou is going to start 21st. Only beats Latifi. Like I say, we're not set up for this track. But we're into Q2, which was the target. Q2 begins for me then. Only the one run in this session. I've let everyone else set a time and I've now gone out while the track's clear to just give it my best shot. See what I can do. Got no expectations whatsoever of qualifying for Q3 because we just don't have the pace at this circuit. Run wide through there again. Not great through that section once again. Probably my weakest part of the track is sector 2. Sliding it through the penultimate corner again. And we're 10th at the moment. That's an improvement. 117.4. I doubt we'll stay there though. We've nailed it. We're into Q3. Hamilton's showing off by doing it on mediums, but we are into Q3. We've out-qualified Lando Norris, so that's good for the rivalry. By about 0.04 of a second. Less than 0.04 of a second, in fact. And we are through. We've out-qualified Lance Stroll in the Racing Point, which is now on par with the Red Bulls. Although Racing Point are strong in a straight line as well. They're very fast in a straight line, similar to us. So, again, similar to us. This isn't really the track for them. But we are into Quali 3. That's above and beyond the target that I set for myself. So we had a fault with a cooling system at the start of Quali 3. Everyone else apart from Bottas has gone out and set times. I don't think we're capable really of challenging anyone in this session. But we're going to give it our best shot anyway. It's come over very cloudy for Quali 3. We're on a fresh set of softs. I don't know that we're going to have enough to challenge anyone in this session. I think we're probably going to be starting 10th, to be brutally honest. But this is already exceeding the target that I set for myself just by making Q3. It's not the tidiest start to the lap either. Whoa! That's big. That's big. No flashbacks in quali. That's quali over. That was very slippery through there all of a sudden. Take points away from Lando Norris though, or a point. away from Lando Norris. Extend our lead to 2 points in the rivalry.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, and Albon, Perez, Sainz, Ricciardo, and Stewart, Norris, Stroll, Daniel Kvyat, and Gasly, Ocon, Magnussen, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Kimi Raikkonen. Joe, Latifi, Grosjean, they've taken a grid penalty, and George Russell ends our grid lineup. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Okay, so this is what I'm looking at for the strategy. 6 laps on the soft, and then switch to hards for 29 laps. It's going to be a long way to take the hards. Tyre wear's pretty bad around here, so that's going to be a struggle. However, it's difficult to overtake around here. So I'm hoping I can hold off the AI for the closing stages, basically, when they start to catch me. Both of the suggested strategies were 2 stops, just like the one you see down the bottom here. So I'm hoping the AI are going to 2-stop, and I can undercut a few of them with the early pit stop to switch to the hards on lap 6. And then basically they'll not only get stuck behind me potentially for their second stint, but they'll also pit again and drop an entire pit stop behind me for the third stint. That's the plan anyway. Let's see if it works. So an early pit stop. Pitting on lap 6. Hopefully undercut a few of the AI. Switch to the hards, and hards for the rest of the race. Just the 1 stop. Keep it on the track. That's music to my ears, Jeffo. Music to my ears. We hate the rain, but no rain expected in the race. This sector that I'm going through now is going to be the tough one for us. I lose a lot of time through here, but fortunately there's not too many overtaking places, so I'm hoping the AI are going to be easy to keep behind me. It does mean that they'll be difficult to overtake. However, like I say, I'm hoping to undercut a few of them and get the overtakes done while they're pitting. Now it's a sharp hairpin for the first turn, so I cannot overstate this enough. I must not bin it into turn 1. I must not bin it into turn 1. Can't win the race at turn 1, but I can lose it. I must not bin it into turn 1. Rich fuel mix and overtake. Here we go. We'll split the difference down the middle. This is going to be risky. Got on the brakes early there. Cold tyres, that didn't help. Sliding around a bit. We made up a position off the line. Possibly another one. Oh, we've clipped to the back of Perez. Sorry, Perez. We're all good though. No damage to us. Whoa. Heavy fuel load. Should be slowing down a little bit more for that corner. Heavy fuel load plus cold tyres. Does not agree with that turn 4. It was a good start, Jeff. Little bit of stock car racing-y. The way I got Perez out of the way. A little bump and run, but never mind. Rubbins racing, as they say in NASCAR. They definitely don't say that in Formula 1. Rubbins a trip to the steward's room in Formula 1. We haven't lost these guys in front just yet, which is kind of surprising to me. Have done the entire first lap on overtake and enriched fuel mix though, so maybe that's why. Got a little bit sideways coming out of turn 1 there, but it's all good. Yeah, that's a better way to take those corners, definitely. A little bit wide there, but it's okay. Like I say, there aren't too many overtaking opportunities around here, so even if I do lose a little bit of time like that, it's difficult for the AI to capitalise on it and get straight past me in most of the positions on the track. The idea is to use overtake and rich fuel mix down this straight, because into turn 1 is the main overtaking opportunity, so I'll be using that to defend for most of this race, I suspect. They have got DRS on me now though. This is another potential overtaking opportunity. Into turn 2. I am worried with Perez behind me as well, because that racing point is so quick in a straight line, and as I said, now on a par with Red Bull in terms of overall performance, but they are certainly a lot faster. How are we reaching a dangerous level of wear again already? I just replaced all the parts. So maybe that issue isn't sorted that I had from Silverstone then. The big six have kind of started to bugger off now. We're not pitting on lap 4. Oh no, 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 bollocks. Oh, we didn't have too many flashbacks in the last race. Yeah, that turn is deadly for spinning you out if you get on the curb. This turn can be as well, this chicane right here. Perez is right on me this time. And he's got DRS. But the overtake and rich fuel mix just gives us that little bit of an advantage. He's going to be close to us down here though. No, he's not close enough. We get a nice exit out of that turn. Alright, Jeff, I get it. He's gone. Sliding through that turn. Perez is even closer this time because of it. He hang Perez out to dry out wide there. It's enough to hold on to 7th place rather. The big 6 are gone. I'm not racing them unless they're pitting an extra time than me. And even then I might not be able to beat them. Oh, Perez is not going to be happy. He was probably pitting early to try and undercut me. Little did he know I'm also pitting early. And we get away ahead of him as well. Oh, Lando's out. See you later, rival. Ricardo's pitted as well, and we stay in front of him. Not really the undercut because he was already behind us, but we managed to keep our position on track. So far, anyway. There's still a few more people left to pit. Oh, I was on the grass there. Bit of extreme E. Go on, Guan Yu Zhou. Oh. Look behind me, I saw a big pink thing coming at me very quickly. So we're quick down that section. So if Norris is out, that must be Sainz just behind us as well. So it's Perez, Ricciardo, Sainz. Didn't see if there was anyone else there. Kind of holding on for the moment. I don't think there is. That was scruffy through there. I've accidentally left it enriched for an entire lap, but never mind. Oh, so Vettel's pitted. He's in 16th, but he's currently being held up by the rest of the pack who haven't pitted. So if they can just do a good job of holding him up until I get there, that could really work in my favour. Especially if it's not just Vettel that they do it to. The other leaders could get caught up in the pack too. That would be really helpful for me. Fastest lap by half a second there. It's a lot slower than I was managing in practice on the hard tyres though. Well, I suppose that was with a much lighter fuel load. What I can't afford is to be held up behind Latifi here. So when I catch him, if he doesn't dive into the pits, I need to get past him straight away. And that is when the track being very difficult to overtake on goes from being a huge help to me and keeping Perez behind to being a huge hindrance to me if I can't get past Latifi. I cannot allow him to slow me down here. Oh no. Every time. Every time. How was that not in DRS zone? Yeah, this isn't good. Latifi on those old mediums is very, very slow. Even slower than me. Here we go. Come on, this time. Surely. Surely. Come on. Down the inside. He tried the switchback, but it didn't work. Oh, there's been some kind of an incident there as well. I've just realised Ricciardo's on the soft, so he's definitely pitting again. And Perez is on the medium, so I'm 99% sure he's pitting again. Unless he's going to do some miracle drive to make the mediums go pretty much the entire length of the race. Which I don't think he'll be capable of, because my hards will only just about do the length of the race from lap 6 when we pitted. Which does mean, I guess, it's not absolutely race critical that I keep him behind me. Just on the basis that if he's almost certainly pitting again, he probably won't pull out a pit stop on me, especially not when there's still cars in front of us, which would slow him down if he got past. Russell's now the car in front of me, who I'm gaining on. The car in front of him is Vettel, so he's still not cleared his way through these back markers. I think there's a Red Bull stuck in there as well, just looking at the track map. The Mercedes are stuck, but further up. Good mix of strategies here, because normally all the AI pretty much just follow the same strategy as each other. Everyone starts on the softs, whether they finished in the top 10 or not. But this time, I think pretty much everyone outside of the top 10 started on the mediums. Or possibly the hards, I suppose. So it's interesting, because clearly the softs aren't the tyre to be on in this race, because they don't last long enough, because tyre wear is so bad around this track. Oh, we're coming for you, Guan Yu. First of all, we're coming for George Russell. Although I'm sliding around that corner, that won't help my tyre life. Oh no, that's not good. Right, we're into the DRS of Russell at least. Though we're not going to be close enough to do anything about him just yet. was thinking about it through that very fast section, but there's just no way. There's just no way through. Oh, Perez is having a go. He's up the inside. He won't make it sticking through there. You can see how difficult it is to overtake though, because look, Vettel just can't go anywhere. Right, Russell pits. That's a good thing for us. And we still get DRS. Guan Yu's in for his pit stop. Guan Yu has managed to get ahead of... Oh no, actually, George Russell got a penalty, didn't he? He started from the back, so ignore that. I was going to say Guan Yu Zhou managed to clear George Russell, but he didn't. Oh no, not again. No. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. It's only our second one. I won't keep doing it. But that's only 2 flashbacks. I've been much worse than that in some races. Monaco. So Vettel is on mediums as well, so he may be pitting again. In fact, I would say he's likely to pit again. So getting stuck behind all these guys has really ruined his race. Leclerc's there as well. I didn't even realise that was Leclerc in front of him, yeah. So he's there, also on mediums. This could be huge for us. The back markers could be doing us a huge favour. Say the back markers, we were one of the back markers in the last race in Britain. Finished, when was it, 20th I think? Yeah, 20th. That wasn't good through there. Just checking the tyre wear, and I think we might be okay to the end on these tyres. We should be. The tyres can go long enough. It's just I don't have the most conservative driving style when it comes to tyres in the race. I didn't even manage to pass the tyre preservation, tyre wear challenge, whatever you want to call it, in practice. So yeah, I'm not too bad around some tracks. Around this track I'm terrible, and this is hard on your tyres anyway, and I can't manage them around here, and I've certainly not been managing them in this race, as you've been seeing with me sliding out of corners, that sort of thing. So yeah, a little bit worried that these tyres won't make it to the end, but I've got a better chance of going to the end than the cars around me. That's for sure. The likes of Leclerc and Vettel, I don't think are going to the end. Or Perez behind me. Ricciardo must have picked again by now. In fact, he has, because he's not there. Vettel's in the pits. It put me off and I ran wide because of it, but yeah, he's in the pits. So now I basically have a pit stop lead over Sebastian Vettel. This could be a really good finish for me, you know, at a track where I wouldn't have been expecting it. That is what we like to hear, Jeffo. So Albon is on the hard, so he may be going to the end. In fact, I'd say he probably is. So I won't get him. Although he's not that far in front, and he's not really pulling away at the moment. Should have been on an overtake coming out of that turn. That's my bad. I may not be good at preserving tyre life, but I am pretty good at with the fuel. And although there's been a couple of times where I've accidentally left the fuel on for an entire lap, I have actually been managing the fuel load quite well around here. I've saved a nice amount for when I do need it. Which is pretty much, well, so far anyway, been to defend down the straights. And to overtake Latifi. So we're fourth at the moment. So Stroll on hards behind me must be going to the end. Bottas on mediums must have pitted for a second time. Don't mind if I do, Jeffo. Don't mind if I do. A little bit slidey out of that turn, but never mind. Didn't want to risk spinning there. Bottas has cleared Stroll. That's not good. I did leave it in rich fuel mix purposefully that time around. Here's Bottas. I don't know that I'm going to have any kind of answer to him down the straight, to be honest, but I'm going to do what I can. It's a long way we'll have to hold him off for. 12 laps. Oh, see you later, Guan Yu Zhou. Okay, we're still ahead of Valtteri for now. Oh no! Why do I open my mouth? Okay, we'll firm that one. We'll firm that. Bottas is gone. And he is really gone. He did not waste any time pulling away there. Stroll right behind us now. Gasly's not far behind him. They're both going to the end. Definitely. They're both on hard tyres as well. Unless they started on hards, which I don't think they did. No, because they wouldn't be behind me. Yeah. So they're both going to the end. So it is race critical that I keep both of them behind me. Oh, that's not good through there. Don't hit that curb. This is kind of one of those circuits, a little bit like Zolder, the Netherlands, where the corners just kind of come at you one after another. They just, like being on a roller coaster, it just comes flying at you, and you just kind of have to react and get yourself into a groove with it. And as soon as you fall out of that groove, as soon as you make a mistake on one corner, you've messed up the next 2 or 3. I feel like my driving's got better as this race has gone on. I wasn't doing great at the beginning. The Ferraris, you know, aren't pressuring me either from behind. They're not. It's not like they're right behind these guys. They're caught up in traffic still, quite a way back. Which is, that's all gravy for me. Whoa, that curb wasn't liking me all of a sudden. And that is exactly what I mean by getting into a groove. If you mess up one, you mess up the next 2 or 3. I messed up about 4 or 5 corners there, just because I was out of shape on the first one of that sequence. That racing point is scary to have behind you. I'll go defensive slightly. He's too far back. Wow, that was not even close to the line. Yeah, I'll take a warner for corner cutting there. A warning for corner cutting there. I don't know what happened there. That was not where I was supposed to go at all. Right, come on. This is all because I said I was driving a little bit better than I was at the start of the race, and it's all gone out the window. Bottas has overtaken Albon in front then. Don't think, even if I hadn't have made that mistake, I don't think I could have held Bottas behind me. So much faster. So I'm really hoping the Ferraris don't get up to the back of me. Which at the moment they're not, to be fair. Jesus. Oh, that was a terrible lap. And that is Stroll gone. Because I'm not quicker than the racing points around here. That has been a defensive job against both Stroll and Perez at different points in this race. As I say, the racing points are now on a par with the Red Bulls in terms of performance, so once he's past me, it's no surprise that he's buggering off. Yeah, if I was going to have any chance of catching Stroll, it was mistakes like that little one at the S-bends there that I really didn't need. Determined not to let Gasly pass me. Got a nice gap back to Magnussen. The Ferraris are nowhere in sight. They're not going to get me. Thank you, Jeffo. I'm pretty much using up the last of the tyre life chasing down Stroll here, but we are chasing him down. That wasn't good. Bollocks. That wasn't good. Thank you, Jeff. I wish there was a button to just be like, leave me to it. Like Hamilton and Verstappen. I think I should be able to just run rich fuel mix to the end of the race. Just to give myself half a chance of getting back to him. The last 2.5 laps. I don't think I will be able to get back to him. But just to give myself maximum chance. That's why it's a good thing I saved as much fuel as I did earlier on in the race, because it lets me push now. Run Gasly out wide, don't let him get the cutback. Yeah, there's a lap and a half to go, Jeff. Don't worry about it. Although these tyres are pretty bad now. Oh, shut up, Jeff. Yeah, these tyres have really gone now. Sliding around the penultimate corner on every lap. I will have enough fuel to just go rich to the end though. And as long as I can get to turn 1 without Gasly having a dive. He's right there. I leave it in overtake out of turn 1 and manage to hold him off. Being rich fuel mix for the rest of the lap. I think he'll only pass me if I make a mistake now. Oh, which I nearly did. I nearly spun on that curb. I would have firmed it if I had as well on the final lap. Bloody hell, he's close at the moment. Oh, we're going to do it. Oh, 6th place. That is not bad at all. That is a lot better than I thought I'd do on this track. Not a bad race for us at all. Max Verstappen wins, Hamilton 2nd, Bottas 3rd. There's still 2 Mercedes on the podium. Albon gets 4th. Stroll, obviously very annoying that I made that mistake and let him through. Bottas would have got past me regardless of me making a mistake or not. Next time I got round to the home straight, I'm sure he'd have just blasted straight on past me. He was so much faster. Look at his best time, a 1:19 flat to my 1:21.3. But Stroll, we definitely could have held him behind if I hadn't have made that mistake. Even when my tyres completely went at the end there and Gasly was all over me. But we held him off. I mean, fair play to Stroll and Gasly because they started 12th and 14th and they finished 5th and 7th. Magnussen as well starting 16th and finishing 8th. The Ferraris had a day to forget, 9th and 10th. So big L's for them. And Ocon outside of the points. And he only pitted the once as well. So he was on the right strategy, Ocon, on the one stopper. He just couldn't make it work. Perez down in 12th. I kind of ruined his race a bit. Him getting stuck behind me. The Ferraris had their race ruined by the back markers. And Kvyat in 13th. Oi! What? Guan Yu Zhou! 15th. Oh my god. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting... That is the dog's bollocks from Guan Yu Zhou today. Wow, 15th. That's his best result of the season, 100%. I mean, really slow time compared to the other cars around him. And looking at the times, look at the overall time, or sort of the time he was behind the leader versus the cars behind him. He was definitely holding them up. Like Kimi Raikkonen and Carlos Sainz, Romain Grosjean, Danny Ricciardo, George Russell as well. I guarantee you there was just a train behind Guan Yu Zhou there. But he's held them all off. Nicholas Latifi got lapped. He was probably a bit further back. And Norris, obviously, my rival with the DNF. Early on in the race, he was out. But that has not been a bad Hungarian Grand Prix for us at all. 15th for Zhou, obviously no points, but a step in the right direction. Much better than he has done. Obviously, a lot of it was down to strategy. But even then, look, you know, Kimi Raikkonen one-stopped as well and started ahead of Guan Yu Zhou. So he's passed him on the track or undercut him. But either way, that's really good driving from Guan Yu Zhou. Wasn't far behind Giovinazzi as well. But a 6th place for us is much better than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to finish in the points. Wasn't expecting to qualify in the top 10. Wasn't expecting to get through to Q3. So to do that and to finish not just in the points but 6th as well, we take 8 points away. And I mean, that's big points over Renault, who didn't score anything. They finished 11th and 19th. It's big points over McLaren, who finished 17th and got a DNF. We outscored AlphaTauri as well. That's big. Let's check the standings. So I'm still in 8th, but I pull... Well, Stroll's actually overtaken Carlos Sainz. So I don't actually pull further ahead of Stroll, but I pull away from Carlos Sainz. And we've closed in a bit on Perez as well. He's still 14 points ahead though. Albon overtakes Perez. And we've closed in as well. Well, we hadn't actually closed in on Racing Point. I'm talking bollocks, ignore me. Because Stroll's obviously outscored me. So they have about double our points now. Got to be annoying for Racing Point though. I think they were expecting that to be a big weekend for them with their upgrades taking them level on performance with Red Bull. who are now cementing second in the standings. Ferrari really struggling the last couple of races, and that race in particular, absolutely nowhere. Finishing 9th and 10th, just inside the points. McLaren have overtaken Renault somehow, even though neither of them scored points. I don't get how that works, but apparently they've overtaken Renault, according to this. Haas score some points though, of course, because of Magnussen. So Haas have jumped ahead of Alfa Romeo. That's their first points of the season. K-Mag actually jumps him up ahead of Kvyat and Raikkonen as well. Fair play to him. Gasly's moved further ahead. I mean, Gasly's beating Norris. That's some performance from Gasly in the AlphaTauri, because that's definitely far inferior to the McLarens. Ocon as well, not doing well in the Renault. Obviously, with Kimi Raikkonen leaving, that opens up the possibility for car moves and for team switches. So we'll see if any new drivers come in. We'll see if anyone switches teams. I think Renault are going to look to replace Ocon because he's not doing well. McLaren might look to replace Norris, to be honest, because he's not driving very well at all this season. He's had a bit of bad luck. He's had a few DNFs. But still, that will do it for the Hungarian Grand Prix. A very good one indeed for us. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. It wasn't much overtaking by me. It was more of a defensive drive. But sometimes they can be exciting too. It was tactical. It was a tactical race. We'll call it that. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you for the next race in Belgium at Spa-Francorchamps, which is a track that I do know very well, I do like, and there should be a lot of overtaking. It's pretty much the opposite to this. There's long straights, it's very fast, and yeah, lots of overtaking opportunities. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.